See, carbon is the third important element after oxygen and hydrogen of the life which exists of the life on the earth. The name carbon is being derived from Latin word. Okay? That is the Latin word name is nothing but carbo, we say it. That means cold. In earth crust, in earth crust has only 0.02 percentage of carbon, which is present in the form of minerals. Okay, which is present in the form of minerals. So what is it mineral contains? You know? Yes, you know this. What are the minerals? One is carbohydrates. Okay. Next, hydrogen carbonate, hydrogen, hydrogen carbonates, coal and petroleum, coal and petroleum. Okay, coal and petroleum. And the atmosphere has, in the atmosphere, in our atmosphere. Okay, so this is done. So in our atmosphere, if you go to see in atmosphere, has 0.03 percentage of carbon dioxide. Okay, the carbon dioxide I told you, right? The carbon dioxide. Now fuels, next one about coming to the point called fuels. So in fuels like wood, kerosene, okay. Next coal, then LPG, yes, CNG, yeah, CNG, okay, CNG. All these and petrol, forgot it, right? About it. Petrol. All these are okay fuels, isn't it? So it in this also we have a carbon. So clothing material can be example for a clothing material. So you know what, in clothing material like cotton, okay, nylon, polyester, okay, yes, paper, rubber, plastics, leather, drugs, and dyes, all are made up of what? Carbon. Yes. Now, any doubts you all have?
No, ma'am.
Any doubts? So this is you have to write it down. Okay, these things you have to write it down. Okay, next I'll be teaching about what are the properties, what are the bondings, what we're going to learn in the carbon-carbon bondings, everything will be learned. Okay. Oh, now here about complete covalent bonding in carbon compounds. Okay, so carbon is a metal or non-metal? Come on, tell me. Yes,
No. Okay.
I just want to know, like I just want to ask you, okay, what is carbon? Is carbon is metal or non-metal? Come on, is
Ma'am,
carbon is metal or non-metal?
mercury.
Why metal? Why metal?
There
Carbon
is no
is
mom.
metal. Actually, carbon is a solid non-metal element. Okay, a pure carbon will can exist in very different kinds. The most common are elements are diamond and graphite. Okay, yes, carbon is what? Carbon is the non-metal. Carbon is the non-metal. Why it is not a metal? Carbon is not a metal. It is belong to the 14th group. I mean, in the periodic table, one group we call them as a metal, another group is we call them. Always we call left hand side, we all the elements which is placed, generally we say metal. Right hand side of periodic table is always we say them it is a non-metal. So carbon is almost in the right hand side of the periodic table. So that is why I say that it is a non-metal without any thinking. Understood now? And carbon cannot form C4 minus ion so easily. So that thing I will explain to you right away. Carbon element symbol is always denoted with C, isn't it? Yes. Atomic number is 6. And atomic number is what? It's a 6. Understood now? Any doubts you have it?
No mom.
Yeah. So write down carbon elements. Okay. Write down the carbon element. Carbon, carbon, carbon. Okay. It is denoted by C and it is a non-metal. It is a non-metal. So the carbon element ka, okay, atomic number. What is it? Atomic number, you know what is it, isn't it? In the periodic table, each element is being given a number. So atomic number is 6. Okay. Now its electronic configuration. First orbit, 2 electrons. Atomic number is equal to, we say that number of electrons. So next orbit, 8 electrons can fill, but we do have how much? 4, correct? Na? Totally 2 in the first, in always rule is first orbit we can fill 2 electrons, second orbit we can fill 8 electrons. Okay, if you fill like 8 electrons, it is completely filled orbit, we say it. What we say? It is a
Completely.
completely filled orbit. Okay, this concept is very important. This concept is very important. And if it is here, we have in the carbon, how many electrons at the outermost orbit we have? Therefore, how many electrons we have outermost orbit? There are 6 electrons. I mean, there are 4 electrons. So 4 spaces being left free, isn't it? Yes. Yes, 4 spaces is being left free. Anywhere I can place the electron. That means I'll tell about it. So therefore, the electronic configuration, okay, configuration of atom, okay, that is 2 and 4. So that is K shell and L shell. That means we call them, this is K shell, this we call them as a next shell is L shell. Next shell we call them KLM shell. Understood now? Yes. Now it is 2. First orbit is being filled by 2. Second orbit is being filled by 4 right away. That means 4 electrons. Very important point where you're going to write it down. It could gain, okay, 4 electrons. I'll write shortcut electrons from what? See, 4 minus. That means it forms an anion. What does it mean? Here, it nucleus having 6 protons. Nucleus, here, this nucleus, this we call the nucleus. The total atom has 6 protons. Here, protons is nothing but the nucleons. electrons. So, but nucleus having 6 protons, it could be difficult to hold. It could be difficult to hold. It is difficult to hold what? Come on, tell me. Hold on 10 electrons. Okay, 10 electrons. I can't place, see, 4 electrons. 4 plus 2, totally 10 electrons, isn't it? So it can give 4 places is left. It can gain electron from someone, or else these electrons is there, no? Which one? These, the electrons which is filled here of a carbon. These electrons, okay, these electrons, it can give out. Correct me, it could gain 4 electron. It could gain 4 electron. Okay. So if it gains 4 electron, it is very, very difficult, very difficult to hold on these 10 electrons. Okay. That means that is 4 electrons being extra here. Isn't it? Yes. So we say that 4 electrons is being what? Extra. Understood? So from someone we have gained, and it is very difficult to balance for this carbon atom. Understood or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now I told it can 4 electrons has been gained here. Correct now? Next 4 it can lose. It can, next one is it can lose. It could lose. It could lose 4 electrons. Okay. From and form C4 plus cation. Okay, cation. Okay, what is it? Cation. Understood? But large amount of energy means it can gain 4 electrons, but large amount of energy required large amount of energy is required to remove 4 electrons, okay, leaving behind a carbon leaving behind a carbon cation, okay, with 6 protons in it. What is it? 6 protons in its nucleus, 6 proton in its nucleus, holding on just 2 electrons. Are you writing it or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Holding on, very important note it is. Just 2 electrons together, which is not at all possible. Which is not at all possible. Okay, which is not possible. Okay, let me explain about it. Okay, so let me explain. I shall erase this. Okay, you took a screenshot. Yes, can you take screenshot? Yeah, I'm going to delete it right now. I don't want to delete it. I want to point also to the screen. I'll tell about it, this one. See, in carbon atom, I told 1 and 2 electrons, and outermost we have 4 electrons. The first point I told it is can gain electron. If it gain electrons, 2 plus 4 plus 4, 4 electron if it gain, totally it has 10 electrons in it. If it has 10 electrons, that means we say that 4 electron is being extra. Okay. It can give out electrons. These 4 electrons is there, no? It can give out. But to remove these, each electron, okay, it's very, very difficult. Okay, it's very, very difficult, leaving behind a carbon atom with the 6 protons in its nucleus. If I remove it, if I remove 4 electrons from it, right? So what will be there? Only 2 electrons. So those 2 electrons in the atom, it is not possible. It is not possible. Understood now? Yes, right? It is large amount of energy is required, okay, because its nucleus is very close, right? I mean, the atomic radii are very, very close. So, therefore, it is what? One, tell me, it is not possible just with the 2 electrons. So, it could lose 4 electrons and it will become cation. If it lose 4 electrons, it will become cation. Understood? If the atom gain 4 electrons, okay, it will become anion. Okay, 4 electron is extra. If the atom lose 4 electrons, it will become cation. Or any electron, if it loses either 1 or 2, or if it loses an electron, that means it is a cation. If it gains any electron, it will become anion. Understood now? Therefore,
Yes,
in order to overcome this problem, what happens, the carbon, what it does, so it will think about it and it will make its valence electron with other atom. It will make a valence electron with other atom or atom with the other elements also. That means the atom decided to share the electron. Okay, share its valence, share its valence electrons with other atom. Okay, with other atom. The shared electrons belong to the atoms of carbon. Okay, shared electrons is there now? It belongs to. I just write the symbol belongs to. Okay, it will belongs to the atoms of okay. I mean outermost shells. I tell about the covalent bonding, right? Okay. Let's just give the notes first so that finish writing it almost whatever I have written in the board. So I'll tell about it. Actually, carbon atom, okay, in order to overcome the problem, the carbon is there, no? It shares its valence. Carbon shares valence electrons. So when carbon shares its valence electrons with other atom or atom with the other elements, the shared electrons, the shared electrons, okay, it will belong to the outermost shell. Okay, the shared electron belongs to what? Outermost of an orbit or a shell. We say that orbit or a shell. Okay, it's one and the same. Now, yeah. So the both the atoms attain the nearest noble gas configuration. It means actually whenever they share, it has to attain noble gas configuration. Noble gas configuration. What is it noble gas configuration mean? It has to attain 8 electrons. Okay, noble gas is nothing but it has to attain 8 electrons. So totally 8 electrons should be there. So this type of bonding, the noble gas configuration it has to attain. And the type of bonding is the type of bonding. And that bonding, we call them as a covalent bonding. Covalent bonding, okay, with other atom. Yes. So it has to attain what? Attain noble gas configuration. Okay, it means 8 electrons should be there. Okay, noble gas configuration. And where it has to the type of bonding, we call them as a covalent bonding. Yes. Any doubts?
no, ma'am.
Now, the number of electrons shared between two atoms, if they complete their octet, okay, this is very important. If the number of number of electrons, okay, shared between the atoms to complete what? Octet. What is octet? You know, that means 8 electrons should be there at the end. How to move? Except hydrogen. Exception is that some electrons have exception. So that is except hydrogen. Okay, hydrogen. Okay, which shows duplet. Which shows duplet. Okay, that's known as covalency. Covalency of the atom. Thus, the covalency of hydrogen, we say that the covalency of hydrogen, we say that it's 1. Oxygen, oxygen, it is about 2. Nitrogen, it is about 3. And next comes carbon, it's about 4. So other atoms also exhibit some similar kind of bonding. We'll see it. Okay. So understood now? Any doubts you have?
No, ma'am.
Now the meeting will end. Fast to copy it, and we have to join again. Done copying?
Yes, ma'am.